morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. Got, 3 or 4 here today. What's happening, guys?
Hey, we don't have our little sidebar menu today. I like it better.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Well,
not there no more.
It's because I didn't set up Instagram this morning because it sucks.
So that's a polite way to say that Bo was slacking.
No, I prefer it this way. Thank you, Bo, for not putting that on there.
No. So the thing is Instagram is such a nightmare to put together. It's so much hassle. And I just don't use Instagram very well anyway. How's it going, Donna?
Yeah, I don't either. Honestly, I don't use Instagram well at all either. But then again, I'm very antiquated because of my technological experience. So take that for what it's worth.
For me, it's just the amount of hoops they make you jump back and forth through.
Right.
Makes it a pain. And then it doesn't populate any of the comments. So then I have to bounce between tabs to see, who is, if somebody comments on Instagram or anything like that. It's word of the day toilet paper. He's going to use it all day.
Hey, listen, I might look like a country bumpkin, but I do have a fairly decent vocabulary. I am a little bit educated, okay? And that's hard to believe, but there's a little bit of education in there. Not much, but there's a little bit. I don't want to, present myself wrongly, but there is a little bit in there. It's interesting, real quick, nowadays, we were talking about Instagram and antiquated, and me being antiquated, things like that. But, nowadays in 5th grade, they are actually doing classes on podcasting with these young kids.
I mean, you should be.
Yeah, it's really cool.
At this point, you should be doing things for, learning social media and stuff. You have to be doing that because that is the future of marketing.
Right.
If you are doing legacy media stuff, which you still have to do, I'm not saying that at all, but you're seeing advertising dollars shift from TV to streaming services and stuff like that, because that's where people are starting to spend money. People are dropping their cable contracts, not only because Comcast sucks, but because just got to throw that dig in there, but also because so many of the things that you watch aren't on just traditional cable anymore, because every one of these networks has their own streaming service, and they're bundling them together with other streaming services. And so you're at this point, I currently have cable, but I don't know how long I'm going to, right? Because with things like NFL Plus, and then if you have Hulu Sports and stuff like you can watch most of the stuff you want to watch.
Right.
And then even if you had cable, it's an extra charge for things like ESPN and, here in the Northwest, if you wanted to watch the Mariners, you have to pay for Root Sports, which is another channel. And so, at that point, you can get these streaming services that cover those things. There's no reason to keep cable. So for me, as soon as fiber optic cable is here, I'm going to get rid of Comcast because what's I can watch all the games anyway.
Yeah.
And I'll watch.
Yeah,
I don't watch normal TV. I don't have time, but also, if I sit down to watch a normal TV show, I fall asleep. So, because I don't sleep much. So when I sit down to watch something dumb, my brain is like, yeah, cool, nap time.
Maybe that's what you should do to get some extra sleep during the day. Just throw on something on the TV and just sit down.
I don't got time for that. It's like today, right? I got my show this afternoon for Thursday Night Football. So as soon as this one's done airing, I rip my entire studio down because I don't have a second set of gear so that I can go set it up at the brewery to do that show. So it's, I don't know. I don't have time for stuff. Just everything. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I want to do. I still, I'm waiting to get all of these other financial things I got to get squared away done. And then once I get that done, I want to get a setup like what you guys got. And thank you for sharing that platform, Bo, because that you do have some really cool equipment on that I definitely want to get. But that stuff costs money. Yeah. And as soon as I get all these things squared away, I definitely want to do that because there's opportunities. I've had my wife's school district actually called me wanting me to go in there and do a podcast with the kids because they're doing a debating class now, and they want to be able to do a podcast with showing the debate.
Sure.
But I don't have the equipment right now to do it. All I have is my laptop and a mic. So I told him, I say, man, as soon as I get it though. So I think next year that opportunity will still be there, but I've definitely got to get the equipment. I mean, there's a lot of things that are starting to pop off now, especially with artists. You know, to go like when I want to go out and do interviews with these artists at these different venues, I would love to have that. So yeah, that's a necessary evil. But I just thought it was interesting when they told me they were doing podcasting at the elementary level. I thought that was pretty damn cool. It was awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, you should start learning all of those technologies. I mean, because even if you aren't doing podcasting, when you think of just if you go into normal corporate world type of stuff, a lot of your training and meetings are all via Zoom or Teams or whatever annoying thing pops up next. Also, Microsoft fix Teams. All your stuff does is crash a computer. That thing is annoying.
I had the business call I was on yesterday was on Microsoft Teams. I'm on it. I'm like, can I just go to Zoom or something other than this? Because this is stupid.
Literally anything else. And they make it so that it has to go on your startup.
Yep, it was so
I
bad.
don't need it to start up every time my computer does because I hate Teams. I try to avoid it as much as possible. There he is.
Oh, look at him.
It's really loud in here, so I'm not going to say for
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to show you kind of what's going on here. It's the largest spear drive in the country.
Awesome.
I go step outside and show you what they do here.
Largest food drive in the country. Step outside. That's all I heard out of
That's
that.
We're going to step outside. Yeah, sorry. Because they got a band in there.
I got you.
As you can see that they're going to be like, they unload a whole bunch of stuff here. They got tractor trailers full of food already.
Nice.
And they're going to be doing this all day. We got fireworks and everything. Just so that you guys know that I'm just not skipping out and going AWOL on the show. I just wanted to show you kind of what it is that I'm doing.
It's fine. You're ducking us. We get
it. Sometimes you just need a day off, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So like yesterday, I painted up 3 different colors. You know, I started out the day in Union gear, and then I had to go film down in Delaware, and I'm in Eagles gear. And then last night, I ended in Flyers gear. So
nice.
And as you can tell, my voice is doing great.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. I wasn't sure if it was a connection or you just sound awesome.
I sound fantastic.
Did you finish your cheeseburgers yet?
Oh, they didn't make it through the plane ride home. Yeah, they were gone. I didn't realize that when it comes out of the fridge, they're not as squeaky. Once they warm up, that's when the squeak really comes.
See, that's what I said. That's how you're supposed to have curds. None of that deep fried stuff.
Yeah, so they didn't make the plane ride. In fact, I'd say they made it to about an hour into the plane ride. And I was taking the crumbs out of the bag, you know. So real cheeseburger is stuff. Some stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, Green Bay was a lot of fun. I know that, like I said, I haven't really got a chance to talk to you guys about it. Not a very fun game to watch.
No, it was
a little tough. Yeah, it was a tough game to watch. But short of that, it was a terrible game, but we won. Yep. That's all that I cared about. So, anyways, before things start to get a little crazy here, because they got 70 motorcycle cops here doing a donation, and actually on the way here, it's so windy. Somebody on the side of the road had the van door opened up, knocked 2 cops on motorcycles off. On 95. Yeah, it's actually a story now.
Oh, that's
they
terrible.
Were coming here for the Camp Out for Hunger, and now they're in the hospital. Everybody's okay. A little bit of road rash.
Good Lord, I'm glad they're okay.
Yeah, but so it was one of those days today. But anyways, but it's time for me to get back because they're about to get back on again. So I just wanted to come on and say hello, and I'll be back again on Monday.
Right on. Have fun, man.
See you guys.
All right. Oh man, that's brutal.
Ouch.
Oh, damn.
That is brutal.
That is extremely brutal. Well, we'll definitely be praying for them.
So, on a happier note,
yeah.
If you wanted to see Penix fail, you are getting that option. So this is actually right in line with that. So this is Penix Jr. When asked if there was anybody in the organization that he kind of leans on when things are going wrong, stuff like that.
I know you lean on your faith, but like, who do you lean on to like help you? Like, we haven't played quarterbacks. Would you lean on like a former quarterback or your coaches to kind of just help you kind of assess things and good and bad?
You saying like as far as on the field?
Yeah, both. Like, that help you mentally and physically.
Oh, no. Like mentally, like my fiance, she's always there for me. So I know whenever I get home, it doesn't matter how I played. She's always gonna be there for me. She's gonna have a smile on her face and give me a hug and make me feel good no matter what. But as far as like physically the on the field stuff, it's not nobody that I'll talk to like as far as another quarterback or anything like that. I do have people reach out to me. I do have quarterback coaches though back at home that reach out to me as well. Tell me, hey, like you need to clean this up, clean that up. And everything will be good. So those guys help me as far as that too. So I can shout out them.
So what's worrisome about that is he's talking about quarterback coaches that aren't on his team.
Yes.
So
he's
basically saying there's no one in that organization he can rely on. For like mental health to his fiance, which great, like that should be a good thing. But if you have like high school quarterback coaches as the people that are reaching out to you, like that's not awesome. That definitely explains some reasons why Atlanta's terrible.
Your offensive coordinator was a former quarterback. Granted, he didn't have any NFL success, but he was a very good quarterback in college. Like Zach Robinson was a good quarterback in college. He just never had NFL success. And you have Kirk Cousins as your backup who – say what you want about Kirk Cousins, but the guy had a 7-8 year run where he was one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL statistically. So you have another quarterback in that building that you can lean on.
No,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he didn't say that about Kirk. I would think that would be a natural thing because Kirk Cousins seems like the type of teammate that would help you.
Kirk Cousins is taking the route that Aaron Rodgers took when Jordan Love got there, where Kirk Cousins isn't willing to help, and he's just there. It's like, it's not my job to help him get better. It's on him.
I mean, even if there's some of that, like if he were to come up and ask Kirk Cousins stuff, like Kirk may not be offering help, but he seems like a good enough dude that if you asked him.
Oh yeah, if you asked him, he'd definitely help you. That's what I'm saying. Like either Penix doesn't want to ask him, or it's just, well, he hasn't offered to help me, so maybe he doesn't want to help me, so I'm going to try to do this on my own.
I mean, he doesn't want to help you, right? Like you took his job after he was told it was his job. Like I get there'd be some animosity there. But at the same time, he seems like a good enough dude that if you were like, hey, I'm struggling with this, what would you do in this scenario? I feel like he would tell you that.
Yeah.
Cousins, Flacco, Ryan, like all those guys seem like those kind of dudes. They may not go out of their way to help you. But if you ask them, they'd be like, oh, yeah, no, like this is how I'd approach it, or this is how I did approach it when I had this problem or whatever, as opposed to Rodgers when he was in Green Bay, where he's just like, yeah, that sounds like it sucks, man. Like,
But if you're Atlanta, if you're the owner of the Falcons, though, and your quarterback says that there's nobody in there that he can go and lean on.
Yep.
I mean, would you not have conversations with those coaches from ownership and be like, hey, look, this guy's saying we're not giving him any help, and this is our franchise guy. Y'all need to be going out of your way to be helping this dude. I mean, that would be the first thing in my mind.
See, the biggest concern I have.
Well, I was just to say, you have to now because he's put it out in the public.
Yeah.
Like, even if you weren't doing it before, you can't not do it now. You got to be like, hey, we can't have sound bites like this in the national media.
right?
Because we said at the beginning when we were talking about social media, it travels fast, right?
And if you're the quarterback's coach or the offensive coordinator, and you hear your quarterback say that, you got to be thinking they're like, oh shit.
Well, see, that's like the biggest,
let me get on this dude, Ricky Tick.
That's the biggest question mark I have, because when you look at Zach Robinson's coaching tenure, he's been with the Los Angeles Rams his entire career before he got this job with the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
And what has he done with the Rams? Assistant quarterback coach, passing game coordinator, and quarterbacks coach before getting the offensive coordinator job.
Yeah.
He's worked with Jared Goff, and he's worked with Matthew Stafford, and he worked with Jared Goff when Jared Goff was a rookie. So I'm pretty sure Zach Robinson knows a little bit about being a quarterbacks coach, so I don't know why Penix is not going to Zach Robinson. That's like the bigger question I have. Like, your offensive coordinator has been a quarterbacks coach for 7 years. Like, why are we not talking to him? Like, is there like a disconnect between you two?
Well, I mean, there has to be, because at the same time, why isn't there a conversation coming the other direction too?
Yeah, like the guy's had a lot of success as a quarterbacks coach and a passing game coordinator. So where is there an issue with Penix going to talk to the guy that has multiple years as a quarterback coach under his belt?
But it also makes me think, could there have been conversations that have been had and Penix is just throwing him under the bus? I'm not saying that, but I mean, never know. I mean, because like you said, he's had the success. Why would you not be talking to your quarterback?
So I wonder if it's a tone thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's coming off as rather than him looking at it as constructive criticism, right? There could be a tone thing where he's like, all this guy does is bag on me. Like, I don't feel like I can, confide in him that I'm struggling or anything like that. Or, because that can be a thing, especially if you have like a coach that's a little more old school.
Like DJ Williams is the quarterback's coach right now. So maybe Penix doesn't feel like DJ Williams is doing a good enough job coaching him up. But you still have Zach Robinson there. Like, that's where I don't understand the whole thing that nobody in this organization can help me. Zach Robinson can help you. Look what he did with Jared Goff. Look what he did with Stafford at the Rams. Like, Robinson can help you. Maybe not DJ Williams, but Robinson sure as hell can.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. So, and that's why I think there's a potential for maybe it's just a tone issue. Because, I mean, some of these players are sensitive, right? And they won't necessarily take constructive criticism as that. They take it as, oh, this guy doesn't like me. Everything I'm doing is wrong, whatever. And you get defensive. And so then you're not asking, right? Like you're trying to avoid the contact. Yeah.
Oh, so, I think they know he needs help just by his play on the field. You know if he needs help or not.
Yeah.
Body language is everything.
It definitely is. But, at the same time, you may just not necessarily on the other end of this thing, you may not have a lot of faith in your OC and your quarterback coach when you're looking at your coaching staff, forgetting the fact that like guys like Bijan are on your roster and they just don't use them sometimes. Right. And it's not like, oh, we're looking at a defense that, stacks against the run well, whatever. You still have to try to use a guy, right? Like when you have Bijan out there getting 6 touches or something, that's coaching issue, right? So
when you watch that interview, though, he takes a tactical pause. When they asked him that question, he didn't come out and just say no. He took a step back, thought about it, and then gave it, which makes me think he's thinking in his head, should I say it? Should I not say it? I'm wondering. That's what I'm saying. I think that there are conversations being had, and maybe he didn't want to fully put him under all his business out there, but he just kept it no. It makes me think,
that's where I was going. Is he may just not have confidence in the staff to even bring those things up because of the way that they run stuff. So,
like TJ Yates too. TJ Yates was a career backup for the most part, and he's the assistant quarterbacks coach. But the thing with TJ Yates is, at least he's played quarterback in the NFL for 9 years. Even if it was as a backup, he still played quarterback in the NFL and still played where the NFL was merging from a run-first type of an offense to the pass-first type of an offense. So even at Penix, it's like you played in the league when the running backs were used more than they are now, but you also played in the league when the passing game became more of a thing. Like TJ Yates would be the perfect one for Penix to lean on just because of the quarterback TJ Yates was.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is if you aren't necessarily speaking the same language and he doesn't particularly like the way that things are being coached, he may not feel like he can make that, ask those questions. Now, it's not helpful to his career. It's not helpful to the team, but there's more than just X's and O's that go into that.
So you think so you're kind of thinking because it's only year 2 with the team that he feels like he hasn't established himself enough to talk and ask those types of questions? Is that
I don't think it's that. I think he doesn't trust his coaching staff.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at what he did in Washington in 2 years. He was with that coaching staff for 2 years in Washington and put up historic passing numbers in 2 years.
Yeah.
So obviously, with 2 years with that system, everybody was on the same page. The terminology was all the same, and obviously he trusted enough in Kalen DeBoer and his coaching staff because the guy played out of his mind when he was at Washington. So there is some sort of a disconnect in Atlanta, whether it's what Bo said. He just doesn't trust any of the coaches there. He just doesn't kind of vibe with the way they go about talking about passing maybe, and that's not how he plays, and he just doesn't feel comfortable talking with people that might not play the same way he plays.
Yeah, and honestly, it's probably more that, right? It's probably more of they're speaking a different language.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Penix is a different quarterback than what Robinson was. He's a different quarterback than what DJ Williams and TJ Yates was. So those 3 guys are trying to coach him based on the way they played. That's not going to resonate well with Penix because that's not the type of quarterback he is.
Yeah, I don't. If you're a coach and you're like halfway good at your job, you shouldn't be coaching the way you played, because what you're doing is you are trying to infuse a skill set on the guy in front of you, which doesn't make any sense. So
yeah, because they're not always the same type of player.
If you're a coach worth your salt, you should be able to see the skill set of your guy and then tailor what it is you're doing to fit their skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're not really a very good coach.
And who's to say these guys are good coaches? Because we don't know a lot about any one of these coaches outside of Zach Robinson.
That being said, like if your guys that you have, your quarterback coaches, if they're not doing their job, especially for him because he's a quarterback coach for so long, as the OC, you better step in.
I have a feeling.
And even if the GM, I mean, I was surprised the GM.
Everyone gets fired if you don't win.
That's what I'm saying. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of, maybe not Raheem Morris, but I think there's going to be a lot of offensive coaching changes on Atlanta next year, especially after that comment. That GM's going to say it. That GM's going to have. He's going to be like, "Hey, look, we got our franchise quarterback saying that he ain't got nobody to lean on. That's not exactly the kind of environment or culture that we need to have here." So if I'm the GM, that's the first thing I'm doing is going to the head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterbacks coach, and Penix, and we're all going to sit down and have a long discussion. And we're going to fix this culture and get this ship resurrected to where he can have somebody to lean on.
I mean,
and if they're not the right dudes, like he said, then you got to change them out and get the right dudes.
Well, and that's the biggest thing, right? Is you're a few years into this coaching staff now, and so you're year 2 of Penix. You got him for 2 more. Like you got to figure out how to make him successful. Otherwise, everything you did is for nothing. Bijan has been there for a few years. How it is you don't get him involved doesn't make any sense. Like they actually have decent weapons. They're in a terrible division. They should be in the conversation for winning the division. They shouldn't be as bad as they are. So you should be looking at this coaching staff regardless. But now you have your franchise guy coming out saying he doesn't trust any of your coaching staff. Like, you better figure that thing out quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real quick. Wow.
Speaking of another coaching staff, though, this one was funny because, like, the Jets are terrible. We can all agree on that.
Yeah, they haven't lost a game. They haven't lost a game in a month.
Sure.
They haven't.
I mean, that's cool. It doesn't matter.
They're still terrible, but they haven't lost a game in a month.
That being said, Aaron Glenn brought out the pettiness, which was hilarious. So in this press conference, he was talking. Somebody in the media said that Garrett Wilson was going to miss some time. And he was mad because he wasn't the one that released that statement. So this was his response at the next press conference.
I'm going to pass on talking about injuries. Since Rich, he's not here, has all the answers, so you guys can get all the injuries from Rich.
Last one is Garrett a candidate for IR, or is that not something you want to
Ask Rich.
I'm asking you?
Well, I'm telling you to ask Rich.
He's not here though. AG,
Well, you better call him.
no disrespect to you or Rich, but like we want to hear it from you. You know, like that.
You guys have been here. You guys have been hearing from me, but now since we're just reporting stuff, that I haven't said, then maybe you should ask him.
And he literally left the press conference after this.
That is awesome.
So like he busted out the pettiness level like nothing else. Hilarious. But yeah, so the one that he was referencing, they were basically saying that Garrett Wilson was going to miss, I think it was like 4 weeks. And so he was mad because he's like, I didn't say that. Like, I didn't release that. I don't know where you got that. So then he goes on to the pettiness rage of, you better ask him. Like, we don't know. He's got all the answers. So
you better call him. You better call him and ask him how long he's going to be out, because I don't know. Then he can tell me.
So good. So good.
Wow. That is.
Like, it's funny, but it's also like, come on, man.
I get where he's coming from, though. If you want to go to an uncredible source, then go to that uncredible source. Because I didn't
he's
say
basically saying that the guy would just fabricated it. But who's to say that people within the organization didn't say something, right? Just because it didn't come from Glenn doesn't mean that he didn't hear it from within the organization. Stuff gets leaked all the time.
Sure.
So, but I just thought it was funny because it's just like, to do a little bit of it, I get it. But like he literally bounced out after that. So he didn't give any injury updates of any kind. So that was just like, I feel like that probably wasn't necessary, but funny. Obviously it still lands on the injury report as per the NFL, right? Because otherwise they get fined and stuff if they don't do it. But yeah, just straight up avoided it in the press conference, which was hilarious.
I guess you guys heard. What are y'all thinking about AJ Brown? Sirianni says it's not a distraction. AJ says that he's not happy with the offense. The offense is not looking great. It almost sounds reminiscent of last year when things started going awry in the Eagles locker room. Do you see more of that becoming an issue this year?
I don't think it's going to become an issue, but like AJ Brown said it perfectly. And I don't agree with a lot of things AJ Brown said, but he said it perfectly when he said this season has been a shit show, because it has been a shit show. The Eagles haven't, the Eagles are 7-2 right now, and yet they really have not played well all season. They may have had one game this year where they actually looked like the Eagles team that won the Super Bowl last year. But outside of that, the Eagles have not played well. But people have to realize they have a new offensive coordinator this year. This is not Kellen Moore calling the offense this year. This is a guy who's never been a play caller before that's calling the offense. Like, it's going to take him some time to get into the flow of calling plays. It might be taking it a little bit longer than people expected, but this is still a first-time play caller running this offense. He might not be a great play caller right now, but who's to say next year, after he gets this year of experience under his belt, that offense doesn't start looking better? It's going to take him a little bit to kind of figure out who he is as a play caller and just to kind of get into the rhythm of what it means to call a game. It's not like Kellen Moore, who had 9 years of play calling experience under his belt before he got to Philly. Because even when Kellen Moore was in Dallas, Jay, his first year as the Cowboys play caller, that offense wasn't great. It took him probably 13 weeks to finally figure out, like, okay, I have a good quarterback, I have a good running game, let's get some balance here. And then after that first year, he was a great offensive coordinator. It just took him a little bit of a long time to kind of figure out how to call games effectively.
I don't know. I still thought he was a little predictable during his time in Dallas.
He was predictable eventually, but like when it comes to any play caller, if you're hiring an offensive coordinator who's never called plays before, you can expect that first year to be rocky because they got to figure out how to call an offense. They're not going to call it the way the previous offensive coordinator called it. You need to figure out how to call it for yourself to be successful. And maybe it takes a year. Maybe it takes 10, 11 games, but people got to be patient about it. And the fact that the Eagles are still 7-2 with how inconsistent and bad the offense has looked, if that offense does figure it out, they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like the defense has carried some of the weight here. And, if you're not playing your best football and you're 7-2, that's not a bad spot to be. Because that means you keep getting better, right? And you're still in line to get in the playoffs. So, like, it's one thing if you are 2-7 and you haven't figured it out. But if you're still winning and you're not playing your best ball, like, that's great. Because it also means you haven't peaked yet. Right. So, I don't know. Like, I get A.J. Brown wants to be more involved. I get he wants his stats. But at the same time, you're winning. So, like, you need to calm down a little bit.
And you can go back to Tennessee if you want to. And then you can
I mean, now, like we said before, contracts do have incentive-based stuff, right? So, obviously, some of those things can affect your attitude a little bit. It's like, hey, I need these touches because it's going to cost me however much money if I don't hit these benchmarks. So I get that part of it for sure, right? Because this is their livelihood, all of that. But at the same time, it's hard to be like, I need to be more involved. It's like, dude, we're winning. Like, like if we were losing and we're not getting you involved, sure. But like, if we're having success using you as a decoy, does it suck? Sure. But wins are wins, right? So.
Yeah. I just feel like sometimes when you start throwing wrenches in there, like what he's doing, that it can have a positive effect where maybe they get their stuff together, or it can have a negative effect and things can start spiraling. Just depend, like you said, it's all about tone and how people take what you're saying. And if that disrupts their chemistry, that could be an issue. It's almost kind of like maybe you want to have that behind closed doors rather than airing it out in the public. Maybe that might be a better way. I don't know.
The comment that Joe just put up there too, though. They have weapons. They have a great offense.
Yeah, of course.
But the problem is the offensive line has not played the way that offensive line played last year. So
which is definitely affecting Saquon.
Call like all these great plays that you want to call, but if the offensive line isn't blocking, and now you have a guy in Barkley who averaged 5.2 yards a carry last year, that's not even averaging 4 yards a carry this year. Your offense is going to look drastically different if your offensive line isn't blocking the way they did last year, and I think that's another reason why the offense is struggling the way they are. It's because they can't be as aggressive as they were last year because they don't have the time to be. The offensive line isn't giving them the time to be aggressive. Because if you look at the Packer game, they were aggressive in the fourth quarter, and what happened? They got a touchdown. They stretched the field and went to Devontae Smith in the end zone because the offensive line actually blocked for 2 possessions. In the 2 possessions, the offensive line protected Jalen Hurts. They got a field goal to start the half, and they got the touchdown to take the 10-0 lead.
Yeah, well, I mean, offensive line affects so much of that. I mean, when you think of when, like, Schottenheimer was here in Seattle, he's creative.
Yeah.
But he wasn't with our offense because our offensive line was so bad, we had to run 12 personnel all the time because you needed tight ends to help the offensive line block. So if you got 7 guys on your offensive line all the time, you know what you don't have a lot of? Playmakers.
Receivers.
That's what's happening with the Vikings right now. And Kevin O'Connell, Kevin O'Connell's a great play caller. He's a very creative play caller, but that offense right now looks terrible because they don't have an offensive line to block right now. Like, their quarterbacks are getting crushed. So you can't be as aggressive as you want to be because you don't have the time to be. You have to take basically little short gains and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Moose, what he just did on Twitch is essentially the new version of doing a workout in your driveway. Like, him barbecuing his team on a video game stream is the new generation of doing something like that because you're going to get the eyeballs. Yep. So although it's not apples to apples as far as the actual task, he knew he was going to get 1 million eyeballs doing that.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah, like there's no question. That was
easily.
And I know in front of the camera, he's like, "Oh, I was just talking to my friend." It's like, you're live streaming it. Like, shut up.
You're talking to your friend and about 1 million other people. Come on.
Like, nobody's buying that. Like, everybody knows that stream had a ton of people watching because it always does. That's why you stream it. Like, come on.
It's kind of like, let me just say that so maybe I can avoid a fine. I was just doing it with my friends. It's not like I was doing it in front of a press office. That's my personal time. It's my private time.
Honestly,
come on, don't find me.
It was probably worse than doing it in front of the press.
Oh, easily worse.
Because it's going to get screenshotted and sent everywhere immediately, right? So, yeah, because that means non-sports fans watched it, right? Like, it's one thing when it's, it's on a press conference after a game, whatever. Viewership for those really isn't that great. If you do it on a stream for something like that, not only do you have the sports fans that are following AJ Brown because he's a sports guy, but then you have all the gamers that are watching those live streams also. So, I mean, you probably actually hit a bigger base doing something like that. So it's, I don't know. Him being like, oh, I was just talking to my friend. Like, yeah, shut up, dude. Like, nobody's buying
that. Maybe you were talking to all your gamer friends, not just one friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's dumb. It's dumb. But, yeah, exactly. It's why he did it. He wanted the eyeballs. He wanted the attention. I mean, a lot of receivers are. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, when your livelihood is you getting banged up or hitting all kinds of different directions, you got to imagine that you're going to probably get a few screws loose in the head. I mean, that's just part of the game, unfortunately.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm really surprised Earl Campbell doesn't have that, because that dude was, he like Jerome Bettis, guys that would just run up the middle as bulldozers. They were getting hit a lot, and I'm really surprised that wasn't more of a thing in their time frame versus now.
Think about
maybe it was. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it was. It's not like, in fact, it was probably worse then because helmet technology wasn't as good. But
right.
No, but like think about it in fighters terms, right? Like you can have two guys that are just absolutely yoked, right?
Right.
One guy, he's got a little bit of a glass jaw, right? The other dude is a tank. Which one's going to have mental issues? It's going to be the dude with the glass jaw because you get knocked out a lot, right? So, I mean, it's brain trauma is what it is. And, some of those guys were lucky in the way that they played really aggressive, but they just didn't endure some of those things. And then there's some of those guys that, largely were bench guys. They just weren't wired quite as well, and they ended up with it. So, I mean, it depends on your physical makeup.
But I could definitely understand why a lot of these players act the way they do, because like you said, I mean, some people, you take those hits. I mean, it's like you can just see CTE, like you said, till you're dead. So, I mean, and I think a lot of times they get mentally diagnosed. Well, he's got a mental health problem. No, his brain is messed up from taking hits, and you don't know until he's dead to know about all that.
I would bet money that that's something that I will deal with in my life. Right?
I thought you already were.
Based on the way that I play. No, I mean, obviously, I'm on the show with you guys, but like,
that's the first side of CTE right there.
Yeah, that's right. But no, like I would bet money, right, based on the way that we were taught to play and the way that I played, right, that that's a very real possibility. So, because I used to gauge my season on like how much of other people's paint I had on my helmet.
Oh, like, yeah, I can see that.
I came to hit you. So there's a good chance, based on recent studies, that may not have been the best way to go about it.
You came to party when you played.
I did. I was just like, let's go. Like before playing, like I always wanted to be on special teams. I always had nervous energy getting out there, no matter how long I played. So I wanted to be on whatever was on the field first, whether it was kick return, kickoff, didn't matter. I wasn't right for the game till I went and hit somebody. Like literally, I just wanted to run down, put my helmet on someone, and then I was like, okay, let's play some football. Now, in retrospect, may not have been the best case scenario. But at the time, it's what got me right for the game. So
I wonder if the Giants ever have a conversation with Scatterbo Dude, I wonder if he ever has a conversation with Scatabo about like maybe you shouldn't go through drywall sheets anymore as your way of warming up. That's probably not a good idea.
No,
drywall breaks easy. That's really not a big deal.
Just the way that he plays, like Cam Scatabo is one of those players where he plays a certain way, and if you tell him not to play that way, he's not going to be the same player. Like that's like even in college, like Scatabo played a certain way that you're not going to go out there and be like, you need to tone it down a little bit. You need to reel it in a little bit because that's going to affect who he is as a player. That's just how he's going to play. He's going to be, I think, very similar to like Peyton Hillis, maybe not with like the one-hit wonder Peyton Hillis, but a guy that's going to be in the league for 7-8 years. He's going to do what he's going to do for 7-8 years, and then he's going to be done just because of the way he plays. He's going to deal with it.
I was to say, yeah, his lifespan in the league is only about 8 years.
He's going to get one. He's going to finish out his rookie deal, and he'll probably get one big contract after that, but he might not even make it through that contract just because of how he plays.
I don't even know if he'll get a big contract because people are going to look at the mileage that he has.
Well, I mean, like a 4-year deal. Like he'll get his rookie deal done, and then he'll probably get like a 4-year, $40 million.
It won't be worth a lot.
Yeah,
it'll have 2 voidable years, very little guarantee.
Yeah, it'll be like a 4-year, $40 million deal with like $20 million guaranteed or something.
Exactly.
And then he probably doesn't.
What do y'all think the lifespan of a running back is? I was thinking like 8 to 10.
Oh, it's probably 12.
No, so to give it to you in like for his, who knows, right? But if you're looking at the league average for a player, period,
right?
They don't make it through their rookie contract. The average lifespan in the NFL is 3 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like it just is what it is. Like it is a rough sport. For me, had I been able to make it to the NFL level, I wouldn't have made it through my rookie deal. I was too breakable for that. Right. Like I had speed, I could jump, I could do all those things, but I got banged up every year. Like I tore ligaments and broke bones and like all kinds of stuff. So and that wasn't even to that level, right? Like the furthest I made it was pro arena ball. And even doing that, like I was banged up every year. I don't think I had a season that I didn't have something pretty messed up during the season.
Right.
So when you're hearing about these guys that have been in the league for 10, 15 years, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Let me ask you this: as a football player, what do you think would be worse, tearing the meniscus or tearing an ACL? The reason why I ask that is, the meniscus. I have no meniscus in either one of my knees, but I know that it seems to me I've always thought the meniscus was the worst tear because it doesn't really regenerate. Once it's done, it's just done.
Yeah. So I've done both.
Right.
Both of them are currently in that shape in my left knee. And it's interesting because the ACL, you can technically kind of live without. It makes your knee a little bit more unstable. Your ACL also doesn't regenerate. They have to surgically reattach it, or they actually get a cadaver one to put in there in place if it's not repairable. The meniscus, they can do some synthetic things, but yeah, it doesn't regenerate it either. Now, for me, the meniscus was because I had the cartilage displace and grind through the joint. I can tell you that is very painful.
Right. I think the most painful thing I've ever had, and I don't think you see it. It's not very common, at least that's what the orthopedic surgeon told me. But my meniscus, I had a turnbuckle tear in my meniscus. And that's where the meniscus gets flipped upside down like this. Yep. And then and I promise you, Bo, you can't go more than 30 feet with a turnbuckle tear. You're not walking more than 30 feet without having to sit down because the pain is so damn bad. That's probably the worst. That's the worst because I've also had a normal meniscus tear as well. And they hurt, but they're not as bad as the turnbuckle tear on the meniscus. But the one thing I would say about the ACL is you're right. You can I'm not saying it regenerates, but you can reattach it. But when on that meniscus, depending on the way you tear it, I mean, if it's frayed, like mine was frayed, and that's why they had to go in there and clean it and remove it because there was nothing to attach. It was just done.
Yeah, well, and again, it just depends on how your ACL,
on how it works.
There's plenty of times. In fact, I know somebody that they tore theirs in a way they actually had to use a cadaver ACL in place.
I haven't torn anything to that degree yet, but I've known people that have torn both the ACL, the MCL, and the Achilles, and they've said the Achilles is by far the worst.
Well, yeah, the rehab for it is the worst.
Like even like the tear itself, like they said, once you tear that Achilles, like that is by far the worst pain.
Oh, I imagine it would be.
Yeah, I mean
that's a very thick tendon. I mean,
everyone I know that has had that, they're like, it feels like somebody ran up and kicked you in the back of the calf with like steel toe boots.
Yeah.
Oh god, that sucks.
And it's like a pain. Like if you get kicked in the back with back of the calf with a steel toe boot, like it's gonna hurt for a couple hours. But just imagine getting kicked in the back of the calf with a steel toe boot and having that last for months. And that's like the pain that you just feel for months.
Well, and then you go to the rehab end of it. When you're rehabbing your knee and stuff, you have other things that help do that.
Yeah.
When you're rehabbing your ACL, your
Achilles,
it is the main thing. So a lot of people have incredible pain trying to stretch that thing back out.
I could just see you at 14 playing with high school kids. What? I thought this was open to everybody.
So this is actually kind of a fun story. It was high school and college kids. They're playing football and they're playing tackle football, whatever. And so I'm like, hey, I'm in. Let's go. And again, I was always fast, right? So this guy's running down, and I remember this play vividly. So this guy's running down the far sideline. I'm coming from the opposite side of the field, and I light this dude up at the 1, right? And I hit him hard enough. I bounce off him. I land on my shoulder, snap my collarbone in half, right?
Oh, geez.
And I got up and I was like, I got to go home. And they're like, why? I was like, because this wasn't shaped this way when I came out here. And I mean, it was literally just sticking straight up, right?
I gotta go home.
You know, and we lived right off the park that, we were playing at. And, and it was funny because like my next thing I said, I was like, I got him, right? like, he didn't score. And they're like, no, he didn't score. And then they ended up walking me home.
So I'm assuming that this was tackle without pads.
Is there another kind? Like, I don't
know either. I mean, that's how I play. That's how I've always played, tackle without pads. But I wasn't sure if y'all. I wasn't sure if it was like a professional thing where there or like a league where you could. So I wasn't sure if y'all were putting helmets on.
Ain't no league letting a 14-year-old kid go play with high school and college kids. That is literally how you get sued. Like you do.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, some of these 14-year-old kids though are pretty big these days. They're pretty big these days.
Yeah, I was not one of those.
Unless you're built like Derrick Henry when he was in 8th grade, then maybe they let a 14-year-old play with high school and college kids because he was built like a freight train at 14.
Yeah, no, I was small.
I remember when I played
was
football.
fast, but I was small.
I think they said Derrick Henry was like 6'1" and 190 pounds at 14 years old. I'm like, yeah, you can go play with the high school and college kids.
I'm almost 45. I still haven't made it to 6'1". Like, what are we talking about? that's how trying to get there.
That's how the college kids and the high school kids end up suing people when you let a guy like Derrick Henry at 14 play with you and he just trucks all of them.
Yeah, I mean, you're still putting yourself in harm's way if you're having somebody that is so much. That's so much younger. Like you're putting yourself into a real problem. And yeah, I was small. I was a really small kid. That's why when I've referenced getting in a lot of fights, that's why I got in a lot of fights, because I was small and people are like, oh yeah, like we're going to mess with this kid. And eventually you're like, yeah, but you're not. And
Bo said, I'll bring out the inner psycho in me. You're
100%. That's literally what it was. What I lacked inside, I made up for in crazy.
I realized, what you don't do is also you don't play on a football field that has a chain link fence on it, because at the out of bounds marker, because it doesn't feel good when you slam into metal. And we did that. I tackled a friend of mine. I didn't realize how close we were to the metal fence. I tackled him pretty good, and he went right in. The steel post that the fabric connects onto. Well, he hit that post. Bo, and he broke his arm and his leg because he hit it sideways. And his mom and dad came to my house, and they talked to my mom and dad. They were like, so what do y'all plan to do to my dad said, I ain't doing a damn thing. It's a football field. He shouldn't have been out there. What do you want me to do? And I'm like, thank God. My dad said, well, good hit, son, but next time, let's not play in a field that has a chain link fence. Y'all go somewhere else.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And Joe, to answer your question earlier, I did not play for the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens were a semi-pro team that I played for before going to arena ball. But I did keep my helmet, and I did win a national championship with that team. So
I can't see that ring. It's too small.
Yeah,
they should have got to a bigger one.
It's a little guy. Here, there, can you see it? There you go.
Oh, yeah, so much better. It's amazing when the ring matches the finger.
Yeah.
we actually had a situation not that long ago where we did have an 8th grader playing football with high school kids.
Yeah.
And now he's got 94 Division I offers as a junior this year.
Sure.
His name is Kingston Allen, and we've had 3 high school playoff games so far, like the 3 playoff games, not counting his 9-game regular season. He's got 1,300 yards rushing and 17 touchdowns in 3 playoff games right now.
Yeah.
Like he is the next version of Derrick Henry. This guy is built like a tank at 6'1", $195, and he runs a 4.40. This guy's built like a freaking tank. And like you watch this guy play high school ball, nobody wants to hit this guy when he gets going.
Donna. I appreciate that, Donna. I just want to know the love was being shared. That's all. I feel so much better now.
Yeah, that's why I would say I don't discriminate. I give it to everybody.
My little tiny heart, it hurts so bad.
Means it's working. Yeah.
I don't know if Stag ever played sports. I firmly believe he's been a typewriter since the day he was born. I think he just writes.
Dude, I played college soccer for 3 years.
Soccer.
Yeah, he was on the team. He's like, here's some water. Like,
I played college soccer for 3 years. I was a multiple-time state champion in the 100-meter dash. I did running stuff. I didn't do like the physical stuff. I did running stuff.
The rep. Yeah.
I mean, I did running stuff too. Sometimes it was not necessarily legalized running, but it was running. I'm kidding.
Weird. I don't know that I would put that type of stuff out in something that goes around the world, but hey, you know.
It was foreign countries, and it was about over 2 decades ago. Trust me, the statute of limitations has definitely exceeded.
We'll see.
You never know.
So, Scott, I don't think tonight's going to be a blowout so much.
No.
I mean, the Patriots win. Like, let's not get crazy. The Jets suck. But
hey, the Dolphins beat the Bills, so anything's possible.
I was about to say, you never know, Bo. You can have that one off.
Especially in a division game, anything's possible.
Well, that's the thing, is anything's possible, and the line for it is stupid.
Right.
Like, the line is 12.5.
Do you remember what it was when Miami played? What was their line? Just out of curiosity.
13.5 Buffalo.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you bet on Miami on that game and put a decent amount of money on that?
You made some money for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like anytime it's a double-digit spread,
yeah.
I wouldn't bet on the game. Like I hate spreads that are that big. Like, or I'm betting on the underdog, right, to cover, because a spread like that is crazy. Or when it's a spread of 5.5, because for whatever reason that particular number, the underdog wins. It's a thing. But yeah, so I don't see a blowout. I do see a game that I wouldn't actually bet on though. So there is that. And of course, if you are into sports betting, you might as well do it with us right here by using the QR code on the screen. Up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee in case you did take the Jets. And use that QR code, bet alongside us right here on Coast to Coast. And yes, I do think the Rams will score. I think that game is going to be one of the best games of the weekend. You got 2 fantastic games back to back. You got the Rams, Seahawks, and then it leads right into Eagles, Lions. I think those are going to be awesome.
Yeah.
One thing, Capitan, maybe you should just continue to do your home chores. That might be your first focus rather than looking at my jersey. And number 2, come on, man, we're ranked number 10 or 9, I think, at this point now. Are we 10? Yeah, I think we're 10. I think we're ranked number 10. So we don't suck that back. Come on, guy.
I just like that
you being a hater right now. Do your chores.
I just like that Raph came in at the end and just launched some strays at Jay.
Great. I bet
awesome.
his chores are sucking too. You better be cleaning those windows well.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, Scott, is I just don't see the spread. And maybe they do it, whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of with you here. Like, I think they win. I think they win going away. I don't think they cover. Just doesn't seem like that kind of game. Yeah, that's fair. I would have missed that on the parlay too. So,
but the Jets do have one win. I don't remember who that team was that they beat. Do y'all remember who they beat?
Yeah. So Moose, I do a pick'em show later today. And so that Pick'em show is brought to you in part by Bet Us, that QR code that was on the screen. So I go through and pick every game every week, and that is 4 p.m. Pacific. That'd be 7 p.m. Eastern. So
Tyler says he pissed in Jay Sweeties.
Always.
Always. Man, I love a good Wheaties.
I don't know if Jay eats Wheaties without piss in them at this point. Like, it's the flavor he craves. It's the electrolytes.
Funny, we're out of milk. Don't worry, I got you covered.
Yeah, it's funny. Last night, real quick, because I know we're getting close. Last night, a coyote wandered up on my back porch, and Mel goes, "Hey, there's somebody stray dog out there." I said, "No, babe, that's not a dog. That's a coyote, and I don't recommend going outside right now."
Take it easy, Donna. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I did have other sports stuff for today, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit on tomorrow's show about Project B going up against a little bit of the WNBA. WNBA still doesn't have a CBA to speak of, and Project B will be a traveling series where it'll be 6 teams of 11 players, but instead of the 60,000 to 200,000 that you can get in the WNBA, it sounds like it's going to start around $2 million a player.
What?
So, yeah.
Who the heck is funding this?
I don't know yet.
WNBA should be giving them a call and be like, "Hey, if you want to fund that league, you want to slide over here and help with our CBA."
The thing that's funny is also, if you look at the Unrivaled, which is the 3-on-3, it's starting at 220, which is the upper echelon of the WNBA. So the WNBA is on the low end of everything, and so it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the WNBA, because there's really not a lot of incentive for the players' side to come in and be like, "Yeah, we want to make less money to work way more." So, going to be interesting. It doesn't sound like they're making a lot of headway. They only did a 30-day extension at the end of last year. At the end of last month. So they only got, about 16 days left to figure something out. Otherwise, that thing expires and all these players are free agents.
We need to do our suicide picks tomorrow as well. I know Pags won't be here, but I can write them down on paper.
Yeah, we'll have to write them down. The downside is because Pags was the one that wrote them all down. We don't know what everybody picked. So we won't be able to double check if anybody had already picked somebody, because I wasn't keeping track of it.
Otherwise have Pags maybe just text the list.
Yeah, he could just take a picture of it and send it to you this evening.
That's true. Yeah, I could do. I'll send him a message later.
All right, so we'll do that tomorrow. So, hey, if you're in the comments section, have your suicide picks tomorrow.
Yep. And then for those of you that were talking with us at the beginning of the show about podcasting, if you were interested in any of that, here is the link to all the stuff that I use. because I just have it on my website so you can see the equipment that I use for what I do. So, and it's all on like Amazon and stuff. So there you go. There's the link to it.
Awesome.
That being said, that does get us to the top of the hour. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. And of course, if you are around this evening, be sure to check out the Pick'em Show. Otherwise, see you all tomorrow, everybody. Take it easy.